Okay, I'm going to try to talk about the door lock mechanism a little bit here. This is the driver's door. This is definitely something to note if you take it out and mess with it. This is not closed. This is closed. I don't know why it has that intermediate stop, but that's something that took me a little while to figure out. Here's what happens when you open the door from the outside. It pushes on this big tab, unlocks the door. So there's basically a V-shaped piece of metal in here that when you push on this, this V-shaped piece of metal rotates on this little hole. So it rotates kind of like this. And when you push on the, push on the door latch, whatever, try to open the door, it pushes on this side of it, so it rotates down like that. And let's see over here. There it is. You can see it going down, and back here you can see it being pushed. See it under there, rotating, falling down. So if we lock the door again, see it there, it's falling down. So here is the lock, the locking mechanism, and it cannot move since the door is open. I'll close the door. And you can see there's well, now we lock the door, unlock the door. What it does when we lock the door, it moves that whole thing upwards so that when it pushes this way, it's missing, it's not hitting this edge of this rotating piece of metal anymore, and that's why it is easier, at least on mine, it's much easier to squeeze the trigger like you're trying to get into the door, on the door handle when it's locked than when it's unlocked. So we'll unlock it, slides that thing down, and now it pushes on that little piece. You might be able to see right in the center of the screen, it's pushing on that little piece. And it's rotating that little V-shaped piece of metal again. So we'll lock the door. And then we see that it's not pushing on that piece of metal anymore. So in order to modify this thing so that it's lockable when the door is open, so there's a little tab you can see, probably not very well. It's what's stopping me from pushing this thing down even further. There you can sort of see that piece of that little tab. It's basically right behind that spring. So I'm going to open the door. And now it can't move up and down because on this rotating thing you can see from behind there right there, that little cam sort of that holds the spring. When it goes up here, when we open the door, there's a tab on this piece of metal that is hitting that cam, and so it can't go up and down. This piece of metal and this piece of metal are all connected behind there. And that's one piece of metal, I mean to say. And so when we lock it, that big cam gets out of the way, and then we can push it down. So maybe we can see that tab. There it is. I'm going to grind that guy off of there, and then it should work. while I'm waiting for my Dremel to charge back up, I'll show. That's what I'm trying to grind off, that tab right there. Alright, now here is the result. That top tab is off there, so doors closed. Close it, or we can lock it, unlock it, open the door, you can still close it and lock it. And there you can easily see that lobe that sticks out on that part that rotates around this hole, whatever you want to call it. And there's the spring for that part. You can see there was a tab. You can see where I ground it off. Yeah, that's the tab that you got to grind off of there. And let's hope it works.